Here we go.
All right, all right. What's
Hey,
up?
hey,
What's up?
hey.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Let's
Let
do a just quick mic check.
me make sure. Hold on, y'all.
We back.
So we can hear.
Leave my glasses on. They said it made me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mic
Okay.
check. We good.
We're good.
All right. Houses and hoodies.
Put this down. Okay.
What's up, Kay?
Hi. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I'm a little tired, but I'm here.
Okay, y'all. So we start every show off with the hoodie check, right? So what hoodie you rocking today?
This is original. Shout out to the homie Big Kev. Appreciate you, bro. But this is a David Banner original.
Okay.
And said, don't ask me what all this means, but what it means to me when we say this means unity. So y'all don't get scared out there. It means so if you with the houses and hoodies, throw it up. That's what that means to me. What you rocking?
I have. This is Elmo flying on a butterfly.
Elmo, wow, houses and hoodies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is my little I guess my Disney. I have a Disney hoodie collection. So that's what I'm rocking today.
What you gonna ask them what they rocking? How we
Yeah,
gonna do
yeah.
that?
I don't know, cause
Let's say if you rocking a hoodie, you can put it in the
hoodie.
chat.
Yeah, you put a hoodie
And
emoji.
we gonna have to get you some hoodie emojis so to give to your members.
Yeah, cause I don't think you like on TikTok they have where you could take a picture and put it in the comments. I don't know if you can do that on YouTube, but I'll have to make some hoodie gifs and emojis for you guys so we can know what.
So until then, if you rocking a hoodie, just type in hoodie and what state you watching us from. How's that?
Yeah.
There you go.
And we'll give you a shout out. Thank you for watching.
Already.
All right, y'all. So let's get down to business. Today, the last few times we've been hitting on like what our local markets are looking like, what the federal market is looking like when it comes to inventory and interest rates, a little bit about loan products and stuff, and what that means for our sellers and buyers. So today we're gonna do the same thing, but not focus so much on the numbers and more so on what it means to our sellers and buyers. Okay, so today, and I'm referencing my notes, y'all. So we're focusing on how sellers can win in this shifting market. Last week, I focused a lot on my buyers. Today, I want to talk about my sellers. And then also how my buyers can take advantage of that shifting market and knowing what's going on. And then lastly, we're going to hit on a loan product, which is called a HELOC, and how our sellers can use that. And my mighty partner over here is going to talk about that for me. So, to begin with, I want to talk about, I never really have told you all what my farming area is or what my local market is. I introduced myself as just a San Antonio realtor, but if you don't know, San Antonio, Texas is huge. So my farming area is about 5 cities. It's Cibolotx, Schertz, Converse, Garden Ridge, and Selma. Okay, so I pulled up some inventory as of today, what it looked like last month in July. We had about 1,900 homes listed for sale. Okay, 40% of those were new construction, and 60% of those were pre existing. Now, as a buyer, what does that mean? How does that help you understand how to negotiate and get you into the property that you're wanting? Um, and all it is seller concessions, guys. As we can see, 60% of the homes are pre existing. So there are more current homeowners putting their homes for sale than there is new construction. Okay. Negotiate. Okay. Any extra money you can get, it can be used for rate buy downs. It can be used for down payment and closing costs when buying a home. But one point I really wanted to point out is when it comes to your debt. Okay. As a buyer, if you have student loan debt, car loans, or any lingering debt that may be preventing you from getting in a home or may put you in a better position by getting rid of it when you become a homeowner, that monies can also be used to pay off that debt. Have you seen any instances of that happening with loans that you do, of where seller concessions or any monies that the buyer may get from the builder is used to pay off debt?
Yeah. Especially in your market.
Yeah.
There's a lot of veterans, a lot of VA loans. And for those of you all that don't know, best loan in the planet. VA loan, if you ask me, for a myriad of reasons. But to answer your question, that's where, or those are the loan types where I've actually seen the seller, regardless if it's new home construction or pre-existing, where they can actually pay off debt to help the veteran qualify. And you know this, opposed to other loans where the sellers can give monies for concessions to do a rate buy down, pay closing costs, but you can't take a bill, a debt, right, and pay it off. So I've seen loans in my career where folks have paid off cars because they have a big monthly payment, and you know that affects the debt to income ratio.
Yes.
So yeah, for VA loans, and like I said, in your market, what do you have? Randolph, Brooks,
Yeah.
Fort Sam,
Yeah.
Lackland,
Yeah.
you know, Joint Base, San Antonio. So for all of you folks that are, you know, might be coming to this area, yeah, especially your VA folks, another jewel that a lot of people don't realize. But yeah, yes, to your question.
Yeah, and I wanted to bring that up because when you hear seller concessions, and most people just think they're just giving me money to get me in the home to pay for the down payment and the closing costs, but depending on what loan type you take, that money can be used in different ways to help you qualify. So the paying off debt one isn't one that you hear, but it's a tool that you can utilize.
Let me also too, before you move forward,
Yeah.
let me add to that. I get a lot of questions about this. Can I, if say someone gave me 20,000 in seller concessions, and say, just for example's sake, we were able to take care of everything with $10,000.
Right.
Well, I'm always asked this question. The seller says, well, can I take that extra money and like put it in my pocket to buy furniture or something of that nature? And the answer is no.
Yeah.
It would have to be used as far as the consummation of that loan is concerned. So in an example like that, what we would do is we take that extra $10,000 because we don't want to lose it,
right,
and use it to buy
the rate
down permanently, and not a lot of the temporary buy downs that you see. Not saying that they're bad,
right,
but from what I'm hearing online and things of that nature, 21, 22, and a lot of people did these temporary buy downs, especially the builders. They did so with a sales pitch, if you will, that rates at this time 25 we're going to be lower. Well, that's not the case.
And they're locked in.
Well, and there you go. So it goes back to what you always talk about. I know I always talk about on our channel. You want to be able to make sure that you could qualify for whatever rate is at that time.
Yes.
And then use some of these other strategies along with partnering with the right people,
right,
to show what we're going to do with this additional money. And if the rates never do go down, you still can afford it.
Right. Good point. Thank you.
That's what you got me. That's what you got me here. You feel me? You bring the old men and stuff off the bench.
Yeah.
I'm a bench player. I've been in the league for 20 years. You feel?
Yes. And then also with the amount of inventory that we have on the market at this time, from my buyers, there's not a lot of people looking to buy homes in my market at this moment. It's less competition. It's not like it was in 2021 and 2022 where you had 15 people bidding for the same home.
What's the difference, in your opinion, between 21 and 22 and now? Why aren't there that many buyers from what you're saying, or in your opinion?
I think it in 21 and 22 the interest rates were a lot lower. House prices weren't. I think house prices they might have been a little higher at that time, but interest rates were really low. So people who may not have been able to afford before 2021 and 2022 were, because of the drop in interest rates. And then at that time it was like I don't want to say an awakening, but a lot of people had a desire to buy a home in 21 and 22. And I think that's because of when the pandemic happened and everybody was in the house. People who may have lived in apartments or condos, when you couldn't go outside, you were just stuck in your unit.
Yeah.
And so from that instance, people were like, man, like I want a house for a yard and for space and to be in a neighborhood and stuff like that. So I think that was kind of like a light bulb moment where they were like, we need to buy. And at the time, interest rates were low. And they were like, well, not only do we need to, but we may be able to.
The reason I asked that question, I think And I think you're right.
Yeah.
All those things, interest rates. A lot of people, regardless of what they want to believe, they're rate sensitive.
Yeah.
And because of that, two things I want to hit real quick. So just keep me on point. But because of that, a lot of people bought homes that maybe should not have bought.
I agree.
Right. And we are proponents of home ownership.
I agree.
But I know you and I both, that's why I align myself with you. It's not just getting the house. It's being able to have the house fit you and your lifestyle and you being successful.
Yes.
Right. So because of that, lower rates and things of that nature, a lot of folks may have made that decision to buy that weren't exactly ready. That's why they need to watch your channel so they can get ready and understand what it means to be a homeowner. Right. But with that, and in your market, there was an influx of people coming to a lot of the cities that you work in because Texas in general was not as draconian. That's too big of a word. They didn't have as many restrictions as say like a California.
Yes.
During the pandemic.
Yes.
People could come outside.
Yes.
So you had a lot of it's not in-state migration, but from out of state because Texas grew big time.
Heck yeah.
California and some of these other places. And then also as well, this is my last point. There was a micro trend. I call it a micro trend. Not only realizing, hey, I need some more space, and I want to get outside, but working from home. You see?
Yes.
And that seems to have reversed itself. And what's your take on that? As far as a lot of tech companies saying, hey, we want you to come back to the office.
Yeah.
Right. And so a lot of these folks, when you think about tech hubs, San Francisco, a lot of folks you hear, they always talking about Austin is going to burn, it's going to crash.
Yeah.
Well, that micro trend, right, has moved back. So I said all that to say this. In your opinion and experience, do you see the work from home phenomena going away completely, or is it a rebalancing? And if, from whatever your answer is, how do you think that's going to affect home ownership away from the interest rates, if that makes sense?
Yeah. So I don't think working from home will be completely done away with. Like you said, it's a rebalancing. So I think when I applied for jobs, there are a lot of like hybrid options where a couple of days out the week you work from home and a couple of days you go to the office.
Yeah.
As well as there are still work from home opportunities and then fully in person. But how that may affect home ownership.
Think of it from this: commute times. Only reason I asked that question is because it's about affordability, right?
Yeah.
Interest rates, affordability, and it was, like I said, it was a renaissance.
Yeah, it was
during the worst time in the world. It was a renaissance, and a lot of folks was like, "Hey, we discovering our families and stuff like that, and we want some more space." And working from home made that leap a lot easier for a lot of people.
Yes.
So all I'm saying is, and I'm not saying it's a right or wrong and you have an answer, but just, when we come together on these shows, I think that's one of the reasons that I come here is to get people to think about things that they pay us to get them to think about.
Yeah.
Right. Because we're in the weeds every day.
Yeah. Right.
So not saying you need to have an answer. All I'm saying is, and I'll let you get back to it, because I was going to talk.
Yeah.
I tried for 2 minutes. but guys, gals, ladies and gentlemen, going forward, affordability is key. And so a part of that is you need to understand your commute times, right? Because our philosophy is this: the 3 E's: education, entertainment, and what?
Employment.
If you can't pay, you don't stay.
Yeah.
So that's huge when you're making a decision. And in these times that we're in, the more affordable homes, right? When you talk about those cities that you're in, where are they geographically from the middle of everything?
They're further out. Where there isn't so many people. Yeah. It's not as populated as the city.
Right.
Yeah.
Because it's cheaper land.
Yeah.
As far as the builders are concerned. And eventually the sprawl, right? Because we're in a major market. We deal in major markets. Eventually the sprawl will come to you. Yeah. So these are things to look at, right? To couple in my opinion, with what you're saying. If you're buying for the right reasons,
yes,
right? And you have those 3 E's covered, now is a great time because you don't have a lot of what?
Competition.
Bam, back to you, player.
Yes. And then you'll be able, like I said, to think, do I want to go new? Do I want to go pre-existing? Where in the city do I want to move? Especially if you're a commuting worker.
Mhm.
If you work from home, you may have a little more leeway because you don't leave the house. But yeah, take advantage. You can really look at the pros and cons of a certain home, and then how you can use any concessions or even knowing what to ask for. If you're like, hey, I just need 10 grand, ask for it. You know what I mean? And know how you're going to apply it to put you and your family in the best position.
And I say this, if you need 10, ask for 10% more, right? Because it's really a buyer's market
at the time.
You see what I'm saying? And get with your agent, get with your realtor, the one that you know, like, and trust, and say, hey, what does the inventory look like?
Yeah.
Right. But then too, let's talk about this, okay? Because from a buyer standpoint, you know my mindset. When I'm buying, I'm greedy. When I'm selling, I'm greedy.
Yes.
That's just how we are.
Yes.
I come to you so you can get me realistic, but then as a client of yours, I want to know, hey, are you gonna go get it?
Right.
Right. And so, do you agree with that? I mean, if there's a lot of inventory on the market, can we be a little more aggressive as far as concessions are concerned?
Heck yeah. Especially if there's not a whole lot of competition. You might be able to get things that you won't get in a time where there are more buyers.
Right.
And like I said last time, you don't get what you don't ask for. So if you don't ask, you're not gonna get it. They may give it to you.
No doubt.
You know
because
what I mean?
Unlike the pandemic, that house is gonna be there next week.
Yes.
So you got time to think.
The average days on the market now is like 70 something days for the homes that were listed and on market last month. During the pandemic, they were leaving for, heck, it may not have even been a week, 7 days. They were leaving.
It was multiple offers. So all I'm saying is, and I'm gonna stay in my lane, but I'm speaking from the financing standpoint, right?
Yeah.
Everybody is trying to from a buyer standpoint, it's like, okay, the seller's been getting it for all these years.
Now it's my turn.
Now it's my turn. But the sellers are always in control.
Because they have the property.
It's their house.
Yes.
Just like builders, you hear lenders, you hear me, I've told you, man, it ain't fair. And they playing with the numbers, but they own the house. And unfortunately, a lot of buyers don't have the money.
Yes.
And so even when I'm coming in and educating and say, okay, that 40,000 just didn't come out the air. Right? You're paying for it. You just don't understand how you're paying for it. But it don't matter.
Yes.
Because they don't have the money and you want the house. So same thing with the sellers. And I think it's very important for us to start letting buyers know that, so you're not wasting your most valuable asset. Your time.
Yes.
Right? Because riding around, kicking tires, or submitting offers, it costs money to submit offers.
And that's what I was going to say. Yes, don't be afraid to ask. And yes, also make sure you have an agent that's not afraid to go get it and to advocate on your behalf. But then too, you got to be realistic. You can't ask for unrealistic concessions and then just expect the seller to give it to you. Because like you said, it's their house and they want to win too.
And they don't have to sell it.
Yes, because it's their house.
Because one of the things that you hit on, and then I'm through for right now, but during the pandemic, the average interest rate was 3%.
Yes.
Another thing that folks don't realize is 40%, it might be a little less now, 40% of homes don't have a mortgage on it. They pay cash. See, a lot of people think, we all think, we see from our perspective. So if we have to borrow money, we think everybody has to borrow money.
That's not true.
40% of homes, right, don't have a mortgage. You see? And a lot of baby boomers have more than one home. So they don't have to put the house on the market. And to your point, yeah, we might be at 75 days as far as on the market. Some markets might be a little higher, but the question you have to ask yourself is, or what you have to do is, and that's why you guys have folks like OGs here to get a broader perspective, because prior to the pandemic, you have to juxtapose and say, what was the average days on market? So to me, we're getting back
to what it was,
to a normal, but if you just came in the game in 20, that's a skewed number.
Yes. It was a anomaly.
Yeah. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And if you caught the wave, right? If you was blessed, back to opportunity, right? Being prepared, being pre-qualified, right? Knowing your 3 E's.
Yes.
Choosing your realtor partner earlier, sooner rather than later, by watching stuff like this and, find out who you're going to work with, so that all those things come together, so that when opportunity happens,
you can jump.
And those people always seem to win because they're ready.
Yeah.
They're prepared.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to hit that and give a little more color. The seller don't have to sell.
No.
And they sitting on a busload of equity now.
Yes.
And they got lower rates.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying?
And that jumps me into the next part I was getting to, what those inventory numbers mean for our sellers.
Mm-hmm.
To go to the fact that the sellers don't have to sell. As a seller, one of your concerns are, especially in this market, after I sell my home, where am I gonna go? You know what I mean?
Sellers are buyers.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So then it puts you in the same position as the buyers that are looking to buy your home,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then also, say you're one of the ones who you don't have a mortgage, your home is free and clear, you're paying insurance, and you've refinanced and have put yourself in a good position in reference to your interest rate. Will I lose my interest rate when I lose my home?
Right.
Because that's really, you have the home is the commodity, but an interest rate is also a commodity when you're buying.
It's an asset.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah.
A lot of sellers don't realize that as well. So no, I'm ad-libbing with yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, and then so say you are a seller, you're ready to buy today, or say you're a seller and you're ready to sell today.
Mm-hmm.
The market's not flooded, and as a pre-existing homeowner, you're outnumbering our new construction homeowners.
Mm-hmm.
Depending on if you're in certain price points, anywhere from maybe 300,000 to, what do you think, 455? There are a lot of new home construction builds.
Oh yeah, that's a sweet spot. 350 to 5.
If you're anything, if you have a pre-existing home, anything lower than that or anything higher than 5, you may not be in as much competition as a new home construction builder.
Mm-hmm.
So when it comes to buyers asking for seller concessions and negotiating, you might be able to be a little bit more stern. Now, if you're in that sweet spot, you might have to offer up a little bit more if you're wanting to let go and get rid of your property.
That's good, Kay, because really, when you look at these numbers, that's why these numbers are skewed as far as days on market.
Yeah.
Because the higher priced homes are sitting longer.
Yeah.
Right? That's a very niche type thing. And then from what I'm looking at overall, like you said, in that sweet spot, yes, where the majority of people are the first-time home buyers, the people that are transacting a lot of those house prices, they're not up and to the right like during the pandemic, but they're creeping up because there's still not enough inventory.
No.
So again, this is why shows like this are important. The information like this is important so we can unpack what the boob tube is talking about.
Yeah.
Or what social media is talking
yes.
about. Right? Because their motivation is to get attention. Right? Your job as a buyer is to get the right information for who?
Yourself.
For yourself,
yes,
in your local what?
Area.
Market. Because our real estate
is local.
Bam. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. So as a seller, we gave our my two jewels what the inventory looks like in our farming area, in our market, what to look for. As a seller, the area is not flooded. If you set your price, if you set the right price for your home and you present the home well, it will sell.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do an episode on that.
How to present your home.
Yeah,
for selling.
That part.
Yeah, and maybe come up with a checklist for sellers for main things to hit when you're about to put your home on the market, so it'll sell quick.
When you ask for $1 million.
Yeah. And what you gotta put in there to get it.
But you ain't did nothing to it in 15 years.
Yeah.
You gotta do an episode on that and maybe give them a checklist.
Yeah.
To bless the people. I don't mean to keep cutting. I just had a situation like that. I'm like, come on, man. You want what?
And you haven't done anything. It's just not realistic. It's the same way some buyers may not be realistic as a seller. It's not realistic for you to ask up here and you've put in nothing.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So overall, as a seller, you still have power in this market. Okay. And not only do you have power with selling, but you have power with keeping your property. Okay. And one of the ways that power is shown is if you've been in your home for a good period of time, you have a lot of equity built up. Okay. Your equity is high, and there are financing options for if you want to add on or pay off some debt, how you can get to that equity. And that's where I'm going to throw it to you. I mentioned HELOCs in the beginning. That's the loan product that I'd like for you to tell them how it works and how a seller could utilize that for their benefit.
So I'll do it like this. Since
Okay.
you're Texas centric, right? In Texas, anytime you tap into the equity of your primary residence,
Mm-hmm.
Texas has a rule, A6, right? Where a seller can only borrow up to 80% of the appraised value, ties into the homestead. That's a great
Rule.
rule and tool.
I think so.
And this is one of the reasons Texas, up until this last boom that we had in Austin, but Austin's going to be fine. But during the housing market debacle crash, we didn't have real big dips because all the equity was not tappable. So that's a good thing as far as Texas is concerned. So remember, 80% of the appraised value. So if your house appraised for 100,000, you can only borrow up to 80,
Okay.
right? That's called a cash out. Well, now we have, and we've always had home equity lines of credit, but there's different flavors now. And the reason that's important, because like you're saying, hey, I'm a seller
Mm-hmm.
and I want to sell.
Mm-hmm.
I go out with UK and we go looking, and I'm like, well, you know what?
I want to keep
What I got is better,
yeah.
less expensive
Yeah.
than what's on the market, right? But say you didn't watch Houses and Hoodies,
Yeah.
and you listed the house with you first,
Mm-hmm.
only to find out later that, hey, I want to stay, and we just gonna add an ADU or a room or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Well, how do I tap into some of that equity?
Right.
Well, I can't because I've listed the house first. You see? So there's rules in place, and here's the rules. The rules are made by the person that has the goal. He that has the goal makes the rules.
Yeah.
So the lenders, home equity lines of credit, or HE loans, which are just marketed different for second loans, right? And I'll explain that in a minute, but they're in it to make money.
Yes.
So really a HELOC or a HE loan in the example that I'm giving is a bridge maybe to get access to all that equity that you have to make your current place better. But I don't want to lose my 3% interest rate.
Right.
Well, as long as you stay within that 80% continuum, right? We don't have to pay off the first. You keep your rate. But the difference in between wherever you are in that 80%, you could do a HE loan, which is just a second, allows you to tap into the equity. The rate will be different, but you still have your first, and then you could build onto the home. But you want to do those things. You want to talk to you and have that game plan, that strategy before we list the house.
Right. So it's no delay.
See, because back to the point I did make, a lot of these lenders that do the HE loans and HELOCs, they understand that it's short-term financing, and it's about making money.
Yeah.
Right. So they don't want you to come in real quick, get what you need to fix up that house that you didn't fix up for 15 years.
Yeah.
Only to turn around and sell it. Right. So a lot of times, if you listed the home, they want you to wait a period of time. Most of my investors want you to wait 180 days
from the list date.
And if you've been watching the show, in fact, I keep referencing one of my longtime clients where we have to wait 180 days because they went through that exact same thing. New baby coming, right? They needed some more space. They wanted to go out and see what was happening, what was being offered.
They didn't want.
Yeah. Right. And so now, hey, we want to tap into some of this equity, but the house was listed first. Now we got to wait. So we're just waiting. So because of that, hopefully you guys will learn.
Yeah.
Right. And understand that a lot of people don't understand this. Hey, I don't want to refinance. I have a lot of credit card debt.
Yeah.
My child needs to go to school.
Yeah.
Something, life is happening. And how do I tap into this equity? You feel what I'm saying? This is how you can do it via HELOC, a HE loan, or just a regular cash out.
Refinance.
Right? Okay. 3 different things. The bad thing with the cash out in this example is you don't want to do the cash out because you would take that 3% rate and raise it to whatever the new rate is.
Okay.
So that's why HELOCs and HE loans
are better in that instance.
Put in place. And Texas is a little behind the curve. Now we have HELOCs in which you can get the money and it just sits there like a credit card.
Okay.
And you only pay interest on what you use.
Okay.
Up to a 3-year period.
Okay.
So I won't get too technical, but did I answer your question?
So let me ask you if, say we have a seller who they don't need all the way up to 80%. Can they choose? Can they tell you how much?
There's again, it's a business, right? So
Okay.
these companies, these investors that we have, there's minimum loan amounts,
Okay.
right, and maximums. But again, not to bore everybody, this is where you reach out to yourself or to the lender that you know, like, and trust, and they should be able to walk you through these scenarios. Okay. And again, that's why we do this. This isn't to get on here and regurgitate guidelines.
No.
We got AI for that now.
Yeah.
What you're paying yourself, somebody like yourself or myself for, are the strategies, the things that you don't, the blind spots that you don't understand, not just getting in the home, maintaining the home, and more importantly, the exit strategy.
Yes.
This is why we do what we do.
Yes. So yeah. Well, we hit everything. We hit it and quit it. I'm trying to think. I'm over here thinking if I have anything else to add. I don't believe I do. I learned something new dealing with the HELOCs. I didn't know if you had to, like, if you came in and was like, I just need $10,000. Can I come get $10,000? I didn't know if that was, because like you said, the lender still has to make money as well.
Right. And it's just something, it's a case by case basis.
Yeah.
It's just like you can't get online and hear, the market has crashed 400%. Well, where are we taking that baseline number from?
Yeah.
What market are we talking about?
Yeah.
How does that apply to me?
Because every city, every state, every area is different.
Every household.
Yes.
Right? Your money is not my money.
No.
So it's a bespoke type situation. And I think, like you said, you hit all the points that you wanted to hit. I think if they want to reach out and have a realtor, what markets did you say? What areas?
So I'm getting the city: Cibolotx, Schertz, Garden Ridge, Selma, and Converse.
Texas,
yes.
Right? Mm-hmm. They need to hit that link in your description.
Yes.
Right? And schedule a what?
Consultation.
That part.
Because, like you said, everything is case by case basis. So I can't give you a whole lot of generalizations if I don't know your situation.
Right. So I think to sum it up too, just to summarize, right, from what I heard, because you're my realtor, right? This is what I heard. If I'm a buyer, there's an opportunity for me to not necessarily knock it out of the park in purchase price,
right?
But my closing costs,
right?
My interest rate should be able to be affected positively via seller concessions, right? And I need to lean on somebody like you to ask, to get an idea of what's being too aggressive and what's not being aggressive enough.
Yes.
Because buyers are getting their money now.
Yeah.
Because there's more homes on the market.
Yes.
But there's still a shortage of homes.
Yeah.
In a certain price range.
Yeah.
So it depends on
where you're at on the spectrum.
Where you're at.
Yeah.
Right? So did I hear that right? And then for sellers or homeowners out there, if you have equity, if you were blessed to buy and get the run up in equity, if you want to list your home, right? When they get with you to have that strategy on listing the home and you say, okay, we need to do these things, they're like, well, I don't have the money. That's life.
Yeah.
It's tight.
Yeah.
But you got a lot of equity. The way you can unlock it is via a HELOC.
Yes.
Before you put the house on the market.
Yes.
So that you don't have to wait that period because you did it prematurely.
Right.
And then you can send them to me.
Yeah. On over there and apply.
Yeah, that part. Or to whoever.
Yeah.
They know, like, and trust.
Yeah.
Right? So do you do referrals? Nationwide? So you can help them with that too. But you said what'd you say?
Cibolotx.
Schertz.
Selma. Converse. And Garden Ridge.
Texas.
Those are my
that's what you
core.
That's what you get down.
Yeah, that's my core. But if you do need help with referrals elsewhere, I can also help with that. Those are just not my farming areas. But yeah.
Thank you for having me again.
Thank you.
I really appreciate this.
We had a good segment today. I feel like majority of my channel is focused on home buyers, but without sellers, we wouldn't have a market. So I wanted to give them some hope too.
It ain't no fun if the sellers can't have it.
Yes. So when you know better, you buy smarter, y'all. And until next time.
Indeed.
Peace.